Today's video is on The Great Gatsby. Uh, it was done on Audible with Jake Gyllenhaal reading it and also doing the voices. I really enjoyed his somber um, approach. It was poignant and it was actually refreshing to have a more subdued um, way of conveying the material. This book is a tragedy, not only a tragedy of Gatsby, but also of the human condition. You see, the narrator, Nick Carraway, pits the world of the opulent rich against the average ordinary. And in doing so, he showcases that not only does the human condition strive to be better, those that are less fortunate, but also that they are constantly in opposition to the establishment, the people who are wealthy and have been wealthy. It's sort of a caste system or, a class system. The tragedy is that Gatsby only had one true goal. He loved a woman, Daisy, and he couldn't afford to marry her, so he dedicated his entire life to gaining wealth, to gaining the privileges of becoming her husband. Too late, though, she already married Tom Buchanan, which, although probably started out as a loving relationship, fell to a loveless one where Tom would constantly have mistresses on the side. His latest one was Myrtle Wilson. The reason why I'm setting all this up is because, in the end, Tom Buchanan and Daisy Buchanan are the antagonists of this travesty. Uh, if you look it up, they'll just say Tom, but I think Daisy is as well. You see, Gatsby spent his entire life seeking her out, and she kind of just dismisses him a little bit too casually. In the end, there is an accident which Tom blames on Gatsby, and Myrtle Wilson is killed in a car accident. And it turns out it's actually Daisy who was driving. But Gatsby, being the chivalrous person and the one who's in love, takes the blame. Chivalry from a commoner. Yes, he did raise and elevate himself through means to obtain wealth, but he's was born to poverty, and he shows the elite, the aristocrat, the untouchable ivory tower, uh, you know, wine sipping snobs, what it is to be a human, to sacrifice yourself for ones that you love. Tom and Daisy just flee off to another place, off to spend more money, off to wreck other people's lives. Tom never takes responsibility for instigating Myrtle. Tom never takes responsibility for uh, having affairs. Daisy never takes responsibility for actually causing the accident. It was an accident after all, and she would have been okay. Uh, she would not have been tried or charged. She never even does anything. In fact, in one part, Tom is talking to Daisy, and it seems like they're trying to cover it all up. This is kind of what the story is trying to tell us that wealthy people do. They lay to waste the lessers, as they call them, and then they just cover it up. Nick Carraway is the narrator and also a friend to Gatsby. And throughout the book, it's as if he's trying to tell us something that no one else knows about Gatsby, a truth, the reason why the man is great. There are rumors and speculations as to how Gatsby gained his wealth, how he can live this lifestyle, what he's done in the past, whether he's a murderer or a scoundrel. But Nick touches upon his emotions and his actions in the current day to show us what he truly is. I'm not going to go too much into detail about the rest of it. I think it could be summed up this way: Gatsby was great because he was human. Everyone else in the book faltered from that perspective. They hid, they lied, they cheated. They would outright hide things from their closest friends and family members because it benefited them. Gatsby, on the other hand, only hid things to protect people. He hid the fact that Daisy was the one who caused the accident. He hid the fact that he came from low life because he felt that that would hurt Daisy's chances of being with him. Truth be known, when Tom confronted him, he was very forthright with all of his information. He was putting his heart on his sleeve. He was being human. But perhaps he was too good for the world, and thus, tragically, in the end, he perished. As I said, all other characters either cowered, lied, hid, or just swept things under. But Gatsby lived.